Hello guys, welcome to another episode of The Walker Review. It's me, B-Walk. I'm here with the lovely, intellectual, and stunning Miss DMilan, multimedia journalist and author of When We Were Young. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come out here and chat with us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Well, now that we're here on the couch, tell me a little bit about yourself. Just let the audience know kind of like where you're from, how you even got to this place where you are now.
Well, originally I was born in Germany. Nobody knows that. Everybody always asks where you're from, but that's like my least favorite question. But most people know me either from Oklahoma or Alabama. Those were the states I lived in the longest. And then I went to college in Oklahoma, transferred to Texas, and went to Atlanta actually doing nonprofit marketing management. I do have a nonprofit of my own, so I thought, that was a career path that I would ultimately stay on. But just in doing that, I had to create campaigns that, made people feel and compel people to actually give and want to help, and it reignited my passion for writing. So I actually went back to writing because I started school as an English major, so it was more so me returning back to what I already know to do.
How did you actually get into the business of being an author? Because I know you have skills in being a music critic, multimedia journalist, you're just everywhere. So how did you even find the time to even write a book about everything that you have going on?
It was a process. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't what I initially moved to Atlanta to do. I went out there thinking that I was going to freelance and write for someone else, but it was almost like my dreams outgrew what I was doing. And sometimes when you're working with other people, if you have a vision and it's instilled in you, like you can't shut that off. Mm-hmm. So instead of me working in the nonprofit sector and then freelancing on the side, I went full freelance, which turned into me writing this book because I felt like there was so much to say, especially dealing in music with the younger generation. There's just so much that needs to be said and passed down, so I decided to do that in the form of a book.
While writing this book, were you actually inspired by somebody as far as just a mentor or somebody that's been real influential in your life, or was this just from all the idea that you had just running around in your head that you just actually needed to put on paper?
Honestly, my mentor in Atlanta, Dan Moore Sr., he's the owner of the African American Panoramic Experience Museum on historic Auburn Avenue. So for me, I'm really into history. So to have someone like that who's interviewed Coretta Scott King and Ossie Davis and all of these people, Cecily Tyson, to believe in me, it was like, okay, I need to do this. I was going through a lot of things at the time. I talk a lot in my book about my struggles with depression, poverty, self-esteem issues. So at the time, it was almost like when you go through so much in life and you sit on those experiences and those emotions, essentially what are you doing with them? Nothing. You're holding on to feelings. What can you do with them? You can use your life to actually make a difference for someone else. So it took me coming out of my own situation to be a light to other people, to say, okay, this is what I went through. You probably never would have guessed, but the same way that I came out of it, you can do the same. And I made sure that I ended at least in a way where the reader can kind of understand that everything's not fairy tales, like everything's not glitter and rainbows. My life isn't like that, absolutely. But you can look at the time when I wrote the book to where I am now, and it's still a totally different place because you have to have that faith. So that was the premise of really getting things started.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. Your book, When We Were Young, is getting a lot of buzz. Not only in Dallas, but in Atlanta and a couple of different other places. How do you feel about the quality of work that you actually put out, and how do you feel about the vibe that it's getting from your viewers?
I'm very thankful. I never in a million years thought I would say that I have fans. It's still kind of fresh. Mm-hmm. So I'm really thankful. As far as the quality of work that I put out, I'm never satisfied, honestly. I'm a perfectionist. So I could go through, I mean, the first time that I don't even own a copy of the book. I can't even look at it because the first time I picked it up, I opened it and I immediately found an error. So for me, it's always going to be, here's where you can improve, because I always strive to get better and to get greater. This is the first project of many, so it's not really my end. It's more like the trial and error phase. So that's kind of how I look at it, whereas everybody else is like, oh my goodness, you wrote a book, I'm so happy, I love everything you said, like I can relate. I did it for that, yeah, but it's still, I want to deliver more quality to my audience.
So I see lately that you've been being proud of yourself on being a music critic, not just an author. But how did you even find the interest in actually critiquing these artists nowadays in our generation? Because it seems like everybody wants to be in the rap business or actually in the entertainment business. I mean, how did you even want to be a music critic, if I say that?
It's crazy because I wrote about that in my book. Everything kind of, it's starting to come full circle now. But as far as music, I've always loved different music. I listen to everything from country to EDM, dance, techno, bluegrass, red dirt, hip hop, you name it, I probably listen to it. So in knowing the different type of genres and knowing the different types of sounds, I feel like who better to listen to your music for quality than someone who is experienced, you know, in different types of cultures as well as musical genres.
So now, the book is out, you continue to do many different things. What are some new things that you have coming up that you're currently working on now that not a lot of people know about?
As of right now, I'm really working into my public speaking. I'm actually partnered with Atlanta Public Schools, so I start speaking with them come November. I've also been speaking with the YMCA in Atlanta, so that's been kind of fun. Some of the kids actually inspired me to start a youth arts program for young people who aspire to be, you know, writers and get into the creatives. Because I know a lot of people who would love to mentor upcoming fashion designers and all of that. So we're working on that, and we're also working on the Beauty in a Book campaign to inspire young women to get back to reading. You know, a lot of young women, they think, oh, reading's not cool, men don't find that sexy. I know a lot of men who won't deal with a woman if there's not at least one book in her house. So those are the type of values that I as a woman want to instill into the younger generation. And of course my music stages, creating opportunities for independent artists, make sure that I always keep them at the forefront because they're the reason that I started everything else that I do.
Okay, I want to thank you guys for sitting down with us on the couch. I want to also give us another thank you to Miss DMilan for coming out and spending some time with us on the couch. You guys have a great day. We have more things coming in store. The Walker Review. Follow us. We have great things coming in store. You guys be good now.